Welcome back, I'm Wavepunk, and this is day 67, I think. I never remember to look up what number it is when I go out and do these kind of like vlog style videos. Today we did a lot of watching tutorials to try and understand mixing. We got a magpie friend going, he's in there. See him right over my head. Hello. There he goes. We're getting to the spot in the track where we need to do some mixing, and I don't feel prepared. I don't feel capable of doing mixing in a good way.
It was a little windy and cold outside. I've been mixing, obviously, for years as I've been producing, but it's always just been by what sounds good to me. And I will say, I think that of all the ways to mix, that's the best way if you have to pick one. Don't follow tutorials, follow your ear first. But at the same time, I have consistently run into problems with mixing that I don't know how to solve, and I've never taken the time to try and solve. I've always just kind of pushed through or just published the track and hoped other people wouldn't notice. The first one is I've always written dynamically interesting music, which is a good thing. My tracks have loud parts and they have quiet parts, but oftentimes the volume between the loud sections and the quiet sections was so great that I found myself kind of manually compressing the track anytime I listened to it, especially if I was showing somebody else. So learning how to kind of like split the difference there. How do you mix a track that doesn't have a consistent volume, that has a great wide range without taking away from that dynamic complexity was something I didn't understand. And as I spent time trying to research this, I was consistently finding very unhelpful things. Everybody kept talking about how to make your track loud without losing clarity in those loud sections. Learned a lot about how like clipping versus limiting and like the differences between those things, but I wasn't finding anything about how to make the quiet sections of my track loud without making them feel loud, while having them continue to feel quiet. I also just fundamentally kind of don't understand what a peaking track is within a DAW. I now understand how a speaker works. I understand how it can generate low frequencies and high frequencies within the same single vibrating membrane, and that's fascinating. I love that, and that has helped me kind of understand why phase is important. It helps me understand what a wavetable actually means. I now very intuitively understand why when I edit two pieces of audio together in a track and I put a cut in the middle, there's a little snap sound if I don't fade it or kind of like make sure the waves line up with each other. And when I was watching these videos today about clipping versus limiting, I was understanding what it meant when a track was clipping, how the waveform is saying it should go higher than there is actual range for the speaker, so it just kind of stops at the top and creates this flat line. I now understand what that flat line means. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense to me is that I can have my tracks peaking out all the time, going 3 decibels above what the stereo out should be capable of pushing, and yet it still sounds fine. I don't understand how that's possible, how a clipping master doesn't actually cause distortion when I'm listening to it in the session, and yet when I bounce it, it sounds bad. Why can't the DAW just bounce exactly what it plays back to me when I'm playing through it in the system, when it has to compress it down to one file? I mean, is it not just playing me one file? Like, it's generating the speakers exactly the way I want it to when I play it in the DAW. Just do that exact thing, please, when you render it. For some reason, it doesn't work. But even right now, my project, when it's peaking, I bounce it and I play it back to myself on any speakers, and it sounds fine. It doesn't sound like the speaker literally stops moving because it's sending too strong of a signal. So what peaking actually means in a digital audio workstation is still something I kind of don't understand, and again was not able to find helpful tips on. A lot of the videos I found were saying the same things over and over again. A lot of the videos were not actually that helpful.
I did learn some things. I came away maybe with more questions than I started with, but this is all kind of part of the learning process. So thanks so much for watching. I promise we'll be back in the track tomorrow, working on the music again. Appreciate you guys being here. See you tomorrow.